Sorry, I have no idea.
No, that I didn't know about that.
I don't know. I think most of us don't know.
No.
No, I'm not completely aware of them. But yes, there has to be child rights, that's for sure.
No, I can't remember those people. But if I read it, I'll relate you next time when we meet them.
Every child has the right to grow up and to develop physically and spiritually in a healthy and normal way, free and with dignity. Alas, children's rights in South Asian region are erratically enforced. The South Asian Alliance of Grassroots NGOs, SAGAN, is a regional alliance of grassroots organizations working for decades to make this a reality by providing basic services for over 1 million children and their families. SAGAN includes 139 partners from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, India, Nepal and Sri Lanka that share the common ideology of children's participation and democratic work process. Since 2011, these NGOs have been working in partnership with CIAI and ISCOS, two Italian NGOs, on a project titled Civil Society Alliance for Child Rights in South Asia, funded by the European Union, that has been strengthening the network through a variety of activities. This film travels to 5 countries to meet individuals and organizations that are helping children secure their rights. Notwithstanding the almost universal ratification of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child and of other treaties on child rights and child protection in the region, there is a lot to be fulfilled yet. A recent research study conducted by SAGAN has thrown light on the situation of children in Afghanistan, Bangladesh, India, Nepal and Sri Lanka. For instance, here are 44 million children. 13% of the children aged between 5 to 14 years are reported to be working in different fields, and there are over 12 million children living in the streets. The SAGAN was formed at the World Social Forum, organized in Mumbai in 2004, which encouraged the participation of NGOs from the South Asian countries. In 2005, Butterflies, an NGO based in Delhi and working for street and working children, facilitated a training workshop for the heads of several of such grassroots organizations to discuss the strategies to collectively promote child rights in the region. As a result, the idea of creating a South Asian level alliance was shaped.
The South Asian Alliance of Grassroots NGOs, we work primarily with communities. And therefore for us, one of our major tasks is to advocate with the various stakeholders, which would be the parents, the community, the local self-government, the media, the judiciary, the police, the teachers. So that is one of our major tasks that we have. And there are legislations in place. We need to implement them, and we should be all working towards it.
This film is a testimony to the small, large and collaborative work that is being done for children and with children's participation in these countries by grassroots and civil society organizations. Nepal is a small landlocked country in the Himalayas, home to nearly 27 million people. A decade-long internal war has taken its toll on its people. More than a third of Nepal's 12.6 million children live below the national poverty line. In Nepal, there are 70 grassroots organizations that are members of the SAGAN network. They are all involved in helping the children in need in the country. In the city of Pokhara, as in many others in South Asia, children can be seen begging on the street and rag-picking. The life of a street child is fearful and stressful. Living on the streets without access to basic needs like food, shelter, clothes and medicine, or exposed to addictions of different kinds. The issue of vulnerabilities of street and working children can be seen almost in all the 5 countries. The Jyoti Rehabilitation Center, run by CWSN, is one of the many programs that across South Asia are working to empower children and young people from difficult backgrounds, with the aim of reintegrating them back in society.
Sometimes when my father comes home drunk, he fights with my mother. He also hits me and my mother. So I don't like to stay in my house, and I started my life on streets.
The center provides a home for the children to drop in freely, get access to education imparted in an informal way.
I enjoy coming to this center as I get food to eat, clothing and lots of friends to play with. They also send me to school and provide me with pencil and books. That's why I like coming here.
Another approach that has shown excellent results in the region is the play therapy that provides the children the way to express their experiences and feelings. The play therapy helps the child to overcome internal anxiety, aggression, and change disturbing behavior. In controlled settings, the child plays freely while therapist observes and makes suggestions.
Our aim to transform the life of children living on streets. In our center, we not only give children their basic rights, but give them opportunity to be independent. So that, like any other children, they could live among the society as any other human being.
An innovative initiative developed by Butterflies and implemented by the SAGAN partners is the Child Development Khazana, meaning treasure, a bank for children by children. Most street children are earning enough for their basic needs, but face challenges in keeping their money safely. Exclusively managed by the children with the support of an adult facilitator, the Khazana has over 9,000 child members in the 5 countries, including working children. Many children have been able to rebuild relations with their families and plan for a future away from the street. Bangladesh. The country is situated in a vast river delta. Every year, devastating floods cause a loss of crops, homes and lives, with hundreds of acres of farmland lost to land erosion. According to a national-level survey conducted in September 2001, there were close to 6,79,728 street children in Bangladesh, and 36% of these in Dhaka city itself. Child labor is a harsh reality of the region as well as of Bangladesh, but reliable data on child labor is not readily available. Young Muhammad Abdul Hannan works as a daily wage worker in a small factory. Every morning he gets up, eats his only meal of the day, and then spends around 10 to 12 hours a day at work. In return, he gets 1,000 rupees, $16 a month, to support his family. Aparajeyo has been working since 1976 to help street children like Muhammad living in the slums of Dhaka. Today, there are about 155,000 children supported all over Bangladesh and 12,000 children at the shelters run by them. Thanks to the child-friendly infrastructure, Muhammad Abdul makes it a point to attend school here. It is difficult since he is also working in the day, but he hopes that with the right education, his future will be brighter. SAGAN member organizations like Aparajeyo design and modify their learning curricula in direct consultation and participation of children in order to meet their learning needs and requirements. The non-formal education complements the mainstream curricula.
We have to ensure all the supports, all the benefits. It has to be same way. It goes for the children who are with the organization, not only with Aparajeyo Bangladesh, any organization. We have to provide them all the supports as of their rights to make them the good citizen and noble citizen in the country. We provided through a decent job to be settled in the society, mainstreaming society.
There are close to 20 member partners of SAGAN in Bangladesh, and each of them work using different approaches and innovative programs to address issues related to vulnerable children in the country, such as human trafficking, child labor, violence against children, and early marriage. Despite the many roadblocks and hindrances, the SAGAN members strive on. Afghanistan has been in a situation of chronic instability and conflict for decades. War has had heavy consequences on the country, and tragically, young children have often been the target of violence. One of the 5 Afghan SAGAN members, Aschiana, which means the nest, has been working for almost 20 years for the protection of the children in the country. Like other organizations that bring essential services to vulnerable groups of the Afghan society, Aschiana provides meals, educational programs, and health services that otherwise children would never get. The phenomenon of street and working children that we observe in all South Asia is in this country particularly fierce. Even if there is a lack of data, it is estimated that over 20% of Afghan children are involved in some kind of odd jobs, such as water carrier, domestic help, street vendors, or even begging. Children of poor families are often the only breadwinners in their households and are forced to drop out from school. That is why Aschiana runs schools and drop-in centers that provide basic education in different parts of Afghanistan, providing counseling and support to families and helping children to be reintegrated in the mainstream school system. Students are provided pen, paper, and textbooks in addition to soap, toothpaste, and clothing for the children, along with a basic meal at lunch. Classes operate in 2 shifts, morning and afternoon. This allows the children to receive education, while at the same time being able to continue to earn an income for their families.
I like reading books and also tell my friends to read them. Books are vital for learning in future.
My life has changed ever since I have come to Aschiana. I am very happy.
Aschiana also provides access for their students to health professionals. Each center has access to a doctor once a week, and each center has a full-time social worker to assist in the mental health development of the children and liaise with their families. In keeping with Aschiana's policy of a well-rounded education, the children also participate in art and physical education programs. For many of the female students, being within the walls of Aschiana is the only opportunity they have to engage in these kind of activities. And when the children don't come to school, sometimes the school must travel to the kids. As part of its outreach policy, Aschiana runs a mobile library, the van equipped with hundreds of books. It heads out to the streets of Kabul, sometimes even to remote areas, to give children access to books.
I hope we will be able to make some strategy and policy for the protection of the child in this region, and that's very important alliance for grassroots NGOs especially. They learn this experience from each other, and also the issue of the child after right will be get better very soon in Afghanistan, or inshallah in the South Asian country in the region.
The commitment to reach out to children where it is mostly needed brings Aschiana to the outskirts of Kabul, where waves of Afghan displaced people have congregated in long-term refugee camps. Aschiana is running various outreach centers, providing about 2,000 children with some basic education, including civics, social behavior, and religion. Children are also helped by facilitating their transition to neighboring governmental schools. The demand for education and job training is the most widespread and urgent, as it represents the only way out from the camps. In a reality deeply affected by war, as the Afghan one, these are examples of rare opportunities for the Afghan children, contributing to the rebirth of a country like Afghanistan, where the conflict's ashes need to leave the place to the hope of its future generations. Sri Lanka, an island country off the southern coast of India. It is a diverse country, home to many religions, ethnicities, and languages. At the end of the last decade, the country has gone through a tragic armed conflict that has claimed the lives of nearly 1 lakh people and displaced another 3 lakh. Sri Lanka's children have suffered a great deal and have only barely begun to recover from trauma and start to dream of a better future, while they still struggle with problems like abuse, violence, and neglect. In order to ensure child rights, mobilizing for empowerment has been the lead project of Kantha Shakthi since 2004. The work of Kantha Shakthi and 4 partner members of SAGAN in Sri Lanka believe in raising awareness through a participatory approach on the responsibility of family and society towards children's issues, rights, and their full development.
We have to address the problems that affect the children negatively in the family, because the child is very important, no?
Kantha Shakthi and its other network partners work on strengthening children's rights by providing skills training and other activities that can help the development of their personality. Also, through programs of women's empowerment, they support families because when the families are financially secure, they are better able to provide their children with nutritious food and better education. This family in the town of Gal has started their own small-scale business for making homemade snacks which they sell in the market and improve their income.
We have come to a very good position by doing this business. My son has also been benefited a lot by this because we have more money now. My son is also a member of the Children's Society, so he makes use of the library, reads and borrows books to gain more knowledge. It is great to see him do this.
The rights of every child are better secured in stable, viable and happy families. In the framework of the project South Asia Alliance for Child Rights in South Asia, workshops were organized with various kinds of stakeholders. In Sri Lanka, over 100 government field officers in key districts participated and were involved to identify vulnerable families where children are at risk of being abused. Not just adults, children too are targets of these workshops. Children are taught important lessons like life skills development, health and nutrition.
Today we are going to have a speech contest and the theme is Children's Rights to the Family. So let's start this.
In this speech contest being organized in the school in Gal, the aim was to raise awareness among children and their parents on the child's right to a family and the responsibility of parents of providing a caring family to the child.
I'm very happy to have a program like this in our village. I got the opportunity to come and speak in front of people and I can develop my skills. So all the children in this village get the chance to improve their personality.
There is a lot of child abuse taking place today in the country. I think that the biggest reason for this is parents' negligence of children. If the parents are paying more attention to the children and if the children are close to the parents, then this won't happen.
Today, child abuse in Sri Lanka exists in a variety of forms, including physical abuse, sexual exploitation, neglect, and even death due to child labor. But this is a reality that sadly affects the entire region. In the South Asian countries, governments have initiated different kinds of programs to protect the children. Various government authorities in South Asia, in collaboration with civil society organizations and NGOs, undertake many concrete programs. One such key initiative is the Child Helplines, that is, a free telephone helpline.
Good morning, Kantha Shakthi Colombo office.
The emergency calls are addressed by the helpline members through immediate spot visits and rescue support.
Okay, don't worry.
This is followed by subsequent rehabilitation and repatriation according to the requirements of the case. Several of the SAGAN organizations are part of such service in their own countries.
Being a part of the SAGAN network has helped our organization to work a lot in the country and gain acceptance because we are a South Asian alliance. So this is something really positive and even the policymakers at the top see that it's a good platform for even them so that children's issues within the South Asian region can be eradicated in the years to come.
Despite boasting the world's second fastest economic growth, India has made little progress in eradicating poverty since it began liberalizing its economy. The state of its children is far from protected, even though the government has invested heavily in creating institutions and rules that protect child rights. with the objective to take education to the deprived children still outside the formal education system. Butterflies started its mobile education program called the Chalta Phirta School, Mobile Learning Center, with support from the Delhi government and other donors. The mobile school teaches a child in an easy and unconventional manner and encourages the child to return when the mobile school visits the area again. Butterflies has also added multilingual educational books and toys, blocks and flashcards to teach mathematics, alphabets, sentence making to children who have limited access to a formal education. The Butterfly School of Culinary and Catering Project provides training in food production, marketing and distribution for some of the children that were working in the street and have been associated with other Butterflies programs.
If I hadn't got any training here, I wouldn't even imagine to work in 5-star hotel. Since past 10 to 12 years, I don't have any contact with my family. I will go back and search for them. If all goes well with my saved up money, I might stay back at my village and open a bakery shop.
This has appealed as an idea to several adolescents who see it as an exit from unskilled labor to a career in restaurants, hotel, or in setting up their own enterprise.
I feel much better now. I did not have anything earlier, but I have some education now. People also talk to me with respect. I like it.
In the temple town of Puri, the NGO Open Learning Systems reaches out to over 500 disabled children through inclusive education, therapeutic intervention and counseling of parents. Special children need special care and attention for their social, emotional, psychological, and often their physical growth. The specially designed teaching-learning process is completely child-oriented, and the course is made to suit the ability and achievement of the child. Skills like handling money, measuring weight, making simple calculations are given priority. Children with special needs are exposed to real-life situations under the guidance of special educators. Pre-vocational and vocational training play an important role for developing skills among the children with intellectual disability. Great importance is also placed on recreational activities like drawing, painting, or dance. The interventions of so many grassroots organizations are reaching out to over 1 million children across South Asia to bring about real change. But what is needed is a change in policy. Reaching out to relevant government authorities, institutions and ministries has been a primary goal of SAGAN's operation in order to collectively raise a stronger voice beyond their specific work as organizations at local level. There are close to 40 organizations that are member of the national chapter of the South Asian Alliance of Grassroots NGOs in India. The alliance here is called the National Alliance of Grassroots NGOs, and they meet every year for a special symposium to discuss and share new perspectives on rights of children in the country.
Now to begin with, juvenile justice.
Those in attendance this year in Puri, Orissa, noted that social protection is a basic human right and that child-sensitive social protects are needed in South Asia.
NATN should be working on this issue of conflict with children.
India has ratified the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. So it is imperative that India puts in place the legal provisions that gives children their rights, but which is not happening. The policies are not being implemented properly. Budget allocation is not being made properly. So their rights are not being realized.
The Alliance for Grassroots NGOs would be working centrally, so it would be easy for us to probably tell the authorities and the stakeholders what problems we are facing while working at the grassroots level.
I see that the future of NAGN is just going to be even better. It's going to grow because NAGN gives you that platform to work for children of India. So NAGN is working for a child today so that they are better citizens in the future for India.
The successful work being done by hundreds of grassroots organizations in Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, India, Afghanistan is still but a drop in the ocean. Given the scale of the challenges still affecting children in the region. In South Asia, issues such as child labor, early marriage of children, access to health and education, and participation of children leave a lot to be desired. But the interventions showcased are living examples of how change is happening, that providing children their basic rights, even in countries with immense poverty and deprivation, can become a reality, which is a responsibility of each of us.
This is the time we come out and let them enjoy the life, let them play, let them have the rights of the family, let them have the right to life, let them have a right to a life with dignity and honor.
My wish is to see that my child studies well. He is well educated and comes to a very good position in the society.
I will become an engineer.
My future ambition is to become a lawyer.
Computer engineer, teacher, doctor.
Teacher, engineer,
doctor.
I want to be a member of parliament. I am very happy.